let's go to the video.
Wir können zum jetzigen Zeitpunkt nur gesichert sagen, dass der Täter offensichtlich islamophob war. Das können wir schon bestätigen. Alles andere obliegt den weiteren Ermittlungen. Da müssen wir jetzt abwarten.
There's a 3-second clip. We've trimmed it so you can actually watch it. I'm going to play it 2 or 3 times. He actually does say, Allahu Akbar. Saying the Western establishment has swallowed so much takir that they no longer have a gag reflex. Yeah, takir, obviously the concept in Islam that you are allowed but also encouraged to lie and pretend to be somebody else or something else in order to obviously further your cause.
The scale of the emergency response tells us something about the awfulness of what happened here this morning. So too does where it happened, at a Taylor Swift-themed yoga class in the school summer holidays.
The incident is not being treated as terror-related.
Axel Rudakabana already faces 3 charges of murder, 10 charges of attempted murder and 1 charge of possession of a knife, all relating to the incident at Hart Street on the 29th of July 2024. The 2 further offences relate to evidence obtained by Merseyside Police during searches of Axel Rudakabana's home address as part of a lengthy and complex investigation which has been ongoing since the 29th of July. The additional charges are the production of a biological toxin, namely ricin, contrary to Section 1 of the Biological Weapons Act 1974, and possession of information, namely a PDF file entitled Military Studies in the Jihad Against the Tyrants, the Al-Qaeda Training Manual.
This is the problem, and that's why people are becoming frustrated across Western Europe, because they say, well, we know exactly what's been going on in Europe, whether you're talking about the incidents in Stockholm, which was yesterday or a couple of days ago, the explosion, or Oslo this morning, or anything else that happens. People know, people don't feel safe, generally speaking. Saying, when is humanity going to acknowledge the Islamist threats? We cannot take action unless this happens. The interesting thing about this point is, as I said, and as you guys have said, the whole point of the security barriers and armed police at Christmas markets is because the last 10-20 years, the threat from Islamism has gone up. And now I'm not saying that that's according to the governments and the authorities. So by default, if they've done this in terms of increasing security, they are admitting that there is a threat from Islamism.
The Quran, which incidentally, if you read, demonstrates Islam is a peaceful and harmonious religion.
The French people are increasingly living in fear. They fear the imposition of Islamic law and the organized violence against any French person, including the police.
100 people held hostage inside a theater in the heart of the city. Police stormed that facility. Those individuals inside were killed. A French television station saying that the hostage takers were armed with explosives, in many cases throwing grenades. There were a series of attacks in other parts of the area, in other parts of Paris, I should say. About 7 in total. 3 explosions at the French National Stadium where the French national team was playing a friendly match against Germany.
And throughout history, Islam has demonstrated through words and deeds the possibilities of religious tolerance and racial equality.
A young child with a placard thrust in his hand calling for the beheading of a person is simply something I cannot comprehend.
There is insecurity in their neighborhoods. That is why they are here. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to go back to their neighborhoods because if they go back, they will be killed by the Muslims. Most of them are Christians.
Ça c'est l'église?
Oui, c'est l'église. Ils ont même voté cette porte.
A recent attack on a church and a pastor's residence left 30 dead and over 130 injured.
The reason why you have to fight them is because they are Jews and Christians. You should fight those empires around you, or those hukumat around you, which are Jew or Christian, until they give the jizya.
Islam is not our adversary. Muslims are peaceful and tolerant people and have nothing whatsoever to do with terrorism.
More than 5 years after the massacre at satirical weekly Charlie Hebdo, survivors told of their pain.
Carried into the courthouse on a stretcher, his face covered to conceal his identity. This is the man police say tried to murder Danish cartoonist Kurt Westergaard. The 28-year-old Somali, a legal resident in Denmark, broke into Westergaard's home last night wielding an axe and a knife and shouting he wanted to kill him.